Hey everybody, and welcome to a Spoilercast that we've never done on Target Castle before, but we're gonna do one about Star Wars: The Last
First of
Jedi. With me today is Joe
What's up, Padawans?
and Jimmy.
I was gonna try to make like a Chewbacca noise, but I don't know how to do that.
So you're gonna go with the porg noise instead?
What is
the? And they're my co-hosts on the F&L podcast, the first and last podcast that we do weekly. It comes out every Wednesday. Check it out.
They know what first and last is.
They probably don't. Links in the description below if you want to talk about that. But what we're doing today is we're going to talk about our thoughts on The Last Jedi. Whoa. Okay.
Oh, that actually that interests me. That Joe also made the same noise.
Oh,
I assume Joe is gonna be like, yeah, I liked it.
no, I was
cool.
just playing hard to get. I loved it, man. I saw it for the second time last weekend. I saw it opening Friday and then a week later on the Saturday, and like just the second time around when my head wasn't spinning around about like who's doing what or what's going on, like, and I could just watch a dude get fucking lightsabered in the head like he's in No Country for Old Men. Like,
That's pretty great.
I could just enjoy a movie like that. It was fantastic.
I did hear. So I think I said it before, but I'll just say it one more time for everybody. We're going to spoil everything. We're not holding anything back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Jar Jar gets lightsabered in the head.
Yeah.
Oh man, that'd be the best.
Make this movie
That's
a
the
little...
opening shot of the movie. Is you see Jar Jar's face, and then a lightsaber goes through his head.
At you.
And
you.
then the opening scroll happens.
Yeah, really great 3D movie to
yeah.
see.
Yeah. Hopefully you're watching it with your 3D glasses on.
I don't like 3D movies.
Look, that's a whole nother.
That's a different podcast.
Yeah.
That's for my Josh has unpopular opinions cast. But so your opinion just in general of it was like overall you really liked it.
Yeah. My like kind of short review is that it was super different than The Force Awakens, and I love them both. I don't know which one I like better, but I thought they were both great. They both went different directions in how to do a Star Wars movie, and I thought both were fantastic.
What did you find, Jimmy?
Everything that Joe is saying is making me want to say 1,000 things. First of all, I should have watched The Force Awakens like right before I went in to watch this, because I feel like I would have gotten some more out of it. Just remembering, having it fresh in my mind, because I've seen it maybe twice, but that's not enough.
The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you the last time I've seen The Force Awakens, but I've probably seen it like 5 times.
Okay. You're up on me. But I really do want to already see The Last Jedi for the second time, because I feel like every 10 minutes I was like, wait, what? Like I was scratching my head about like continuity and just like, why are there 3 different like Disney like animal species that are new that we're caring about all of a sudden?
Merchandising. That's...
right.
But one thing I did hear, the only thing I heard about the movie before I watched it for the first time was it's everyone if you see it a second time, you'll love it almost no matter, like everyone loves it the second time.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved it the first time, so I can't wait to see it twice because I've only seen it once, but I thought it was amazing. I thought it was great.
Like I agreed. Like I saw a lot of the things that like people were complaining about, and I feel like there's an issue with the way we treat like movie franchises, and also in like pop music, where you like one thing and then you have expectations for what the next thing should be, and what like you spend a lot of time thinking about what you want to see or what you want to hear, and then when it comes out and it's super different, you might not like it as much because it didn't meet your expectations. Or if it comes out and it's exactly what you thought it was going to be, it's kind of a letdown, because like it's never as good as it was in your head.
Right. I mean, that's why I try to stop like even seeing any trailer or anything for this movie.
For The Force Awakens, I spent a lot of time like reading up on rumors and trying to figure out what's going on and watching all the trailers. But for this, I was just like I saw the first like teaser trailer and I was like, that looks dope. I'll see you in December.
It's a great trailer.
Yeah, I accidentally saw a trailer for it like during a football game, and it was like halftime, and I like just couldn't run away, and that was the only reason I like, even saw like a trailer for this movie.
That was the Bears-Vikings game, wasn't it? The Monday night game?
I have no idea.
Joe, confirm?
I think it was a Monday Night Football game, but I don't think that has any. It means nothing. But
Just saying, it was like a big deal that it came out at halftime
oh yeah.
of that game.
I have a bunch of like
the first
notes
time.
that I just kind of want to like ask, and there's specific parts of the movie that I think
Okay.
people potentially have like contention about. And so I want to start.
Before you even say that,
Okay.
I just want to say, I thought it was just okay.
Okay. I thought it was
Just if we're getting our things out
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
we want to.
I think it was just okay.
Was there anything like one thing you specifically liked and one thing you specifically didn't like?
So many. there were so many great moments that like, and maybe I should save it. So do you guys know about like the ring theory thing? Like how
I know, I've heard of
how
string
like
theory.
how the movies relate to the other movies in the series
Because
like
they
the
mirror
first
certain
one.
things and
Yeah,
okay.
they like mirror stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean the
So, like-
original trilogy does the what's it called the
My phone thought you said Siri.
the original trilogy, and then like the newer trilogy that they had made that sucks ass.
Right.
Like those just mimic. It's just like
But
complete
there are
mimic,
things that
essentially.
yeah,
yeah.
George Lucas just like
And that's what-
mirrored like here's what
And that's
young
what-
shitty Luke,
Yeah.
young shitty Anakin, like
I mean,
back
and that's
and
what
forth.
Force Awakens did, pretty much, right? I mean,
Right.
it was just another
And that's
new
why
hope.
it was awesome. It was exciting, new like this
It was-
new
I mean, it was
with
safe.
the Force Awakens.
Yeah,
Well,
they had a Death Star in it. I mean,
yeah, it literally was a new hope. But knowing that going into this movie, I was excited because I was excited to see the parallels of Empire, because Empire came out and people hated Empire when it came out because they loved A New Hope.
Right.
And this is our Star Wars movie.
I
And
think
what is
Empire-
this super dark, like controversial stuff we're watching? But critics loved it.
I
And
think-
then like now people say like Empire is the best movie.
I think Empire might be my favorite. I think it's usually between it. I mean, it's one of the original trilogy.
Yeah, that's for sure my favorite.
No one better say the Phantom Menace is their favorite.
I mean, when I was
Darth Maul.
when I was a kid, Return of the Jedi was my favorite, just because I fucking love that last
Return of the Jedi is
saber
amazing.
battle,
Amazing.
and I love Ewoks,
Yeah.
and like
But
Yeah,
we're not talking about any of those movies.
right.
So the one thing that I was looking for as far as a prerequisite, it being the second one, it being like the empire of this trilogy, is I expected it to be very sad and like
Yeah.
be sad. And
Was that?
it was sad, but I don't know if it was just me, but I don't think when I got done, I felt it was like sad enough. It's like, I don't think it made me, I don't know why I don't think it made me feel the weight of like, as much as it wanted me to feel the weight, even though there was like 30 rebels left at the end of the, and everyone died.
yeah,
Interesting.
But I
'Cause
think
there's
it was,
hope, man.
but I think it was
That little
because,
room kid.
but I think it was because everybody died except for anybody important.
Yeah, I mean, Luke.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
But
None of
I
the-
mean, Luke died, but he Jedi'd his way. He chose his way. Like
Right.
Yoda.
It's an anticlimactic.
Yoda committed.
kind
I don't
of.
what is it? Whatever Jedi like suicide is, because that's
Yeah.
what That's I mean,
Sure. Yeah.
like that's what Ben did. That's what Luke did, and that's what
Yeah.
Yoda did.
they became
all
one
in,
with the Force.
yeah, all in different ways. But like,
Yeah.
so it was just kind of like, oh, Luke went away. Like Luke died. Like his Force ghost is going to be in Episode 9.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine
As
if
is Yoda, and as is Darth.
you think they're
But
gonna
will
get,
it be shitty Hayden
you
Christensen?
think they'll get Hayden Christensen? Oh my god!
I hope it's
Call
like
back
the
to
little
the-
kid from the Phantom Menace,
Oh,
and he like looks at Rey and he's like, "Are you an angel?"
But he's like 21 now or something. Like, how old is that kid?
yeah, it's that kid, but wherever he is in life right now, it's not like just CG that kid. So
Okay.
I mean, I was a little disappointed in that, and I'll come back to that as a note because of
Okay.
my notes of things, because I have a specific reason why I like didn't feel the weight.
All right.
So first point, Space Leia.
When she's floating through space.
Yeah,
You mean?
Space Leia.
When she force pulls herself back in from the vacuum that is space.
Yeah,
Without somehow dying.
Which is funny because I heard people go like, Jedi can't fly. And it was like, you don't fly through space, you dummy. Like, she was like, they can push and they can pull stuff all over the place. So she was just pulling her.
Yeah, you wouldn't really have to pull that hard in space.
You could even argue that she wasn't even pulling
Unless
herself.
there's
She might
gravity.
She was pulling the ship to her. Like, if you,
Yeah.
like, you know, she was doing whatever.
I thought it was an interesting thing we hadn't seen with the Force, but
Yeah.
This movie was
visually looked kind of weird.
I think
Yeah,
I think it like
did.
felt a little weird, but it like once like I like at the moment I was like ugh, and then afterwards I was like, I mean it does make sense. Like you can survive. Like it's like a weird thing where I think people think like when you go like what is it, Total Recall, when they're on Mars and they go out and like Arnold Schwarzenegger's head almost explodes.
And then it unexplodes.
And then it like unexplodes, and people just think like the vacuum of space will like blow people's bodies up, which is not like it's not a real thing.
That's a ridiculous movie in general, though.
Well, yeah, but like I feel like I've been like when I saw that when I was like 8, so like for 20 years I'm like
I have it.
for like 20 years I'm like when you
I'll
go
bring it.
if you go into space without a spacesuit you'll explode. Like that's not how
Sure.
space works. Like
Yeah. In the end, I think I was like pretty neutral on that moment. Like,
Yeah.
I think while watching it I was like not okay with it, and then once the movie was over I was like I wasn't okay with that, and I was like no, that makes sense. The only thing I'm like less okay with is the fact that she just even survived the explosion. Like that was it. Like that.
Yeah. That did make sense, especially because now she... Like, I feel like that was a good opportunity to write her out of the script.
yeah, and like she survives, but
I think it was
like just sleep for the rest of the movie. Like, to what end does she matter anymore after she does
Right.
the explosion?
She
I mean, in a way though, you'd think it'd be like that's a like even Paul Walker got a better
To lead
send
the
off than like
Yeah.
in Fast and the Furious. So I'd be pretty shitty like if she died and then you shot her out of like into space. Like I don't know, the way they did it and they like went away from it really fast. Like the way the scene worked, like she got shot into space and then they went away and did 2 other scenes pretty quickly, and then they came back to her and she like survived. It was kind of like, wow, if you like killed her and you like went away from that, like it would have made it a bigger. In the moment, I didn't think about that, but I was like, when she dies, probably in episode 9, like they're probably gonna make it a bigger deal
Yeah, that's gonna be weird.
because like it's gonna be an homage, like you know.
Are they going to CG her into episode 9 like
yeah.
Grant, like Tarkin?
I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
I've heard rumors that they're not gonna try to do anything weird like that in episode 9.
I hope
Well,
So
how
maybe
do you
she's just
think?
gone?
I hope
She's not gonna be
so.
there.
Yeah, maybe she just died in the in between.
I mean, and that would be fine in a way, like just
In
kind
the
of say
upside
like she
down?
passed away, and then maybe they just have like a 2-minute ceremony for her kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or if that even that, so that'd be
Because
fine.
I'm also envisioning like a time jump for episode 9. Like we go forward like 20 years or something, 10 years.
I can't imagine it starts
like
like
that.
5 minutes after like the 7 people boarded the Millennium Falcon and
Right.
like the rebellion's like
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
there's still,
Return
like,
of the
15 of
Jedi
them.
starts and
10
it's
people
like
and a kid with
couple
a broom.
years later, right?
Maybe not years, but sometime like Luke goes to train. Like
I mean, Luke becomes like a
I'd
straight
say
Jedi.
it seems like it's like, yeah. How long does it take to become a real Jedi? 2
10
years minimum?
10,000 hours, right?
10,000 hours?
So
So
long it
not
takes
that
you.
long,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. I mean, however long 10,000. I mean, he's not training fully the whole time. Which brings me to the resistance of Broom Boy right at the end.
oh yeah,
We're going to skip around.
I love Broom Boy.
I saw that and I went, he didn't grab that, did he? He forced it.
You really, if you weren't like paying attention to that last minute
You needed
because
to
your
be.
head was
Yeah.
spinning from everything else, you
literally
would have missed
If
it.
you literally blinked, you missed the
Yeah.
he like because it was only like an inch.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. I was like fucking Anakin. That's all I thought.
I was to me it was just like in the movie I was just like kind of like whatever, but then when I was talking to somebody at work about the movie later, and she was like, oh, so like that kid at the end, who do you think his parents are? I was like, go fuck yourself.
That's the whole point of the movie is that it's not. Yeah. That's funny.
Also, yeah, I mean, so I'm glad they like at least said they showed like, oh, there's more people that are like force sensitive that can use it in this. I honestly, people are like acting like this is a big deal. I kind of hope that Broom Boy doesn't have. There's nothing about him.
Right. I
It
hope he's
doesn't
just
matter.
another kid.
Oh, yeah.
It's just
We'll never see
I don't think it
Brembo
matters.
again.
I think they got like that dumb shit out of the way in this one, so
We'll
that
see
they don't have
Boy
to.
again
'cause
in
if-
episode 10,
God.
start of the new trilogy.
Well, so if they would have ended episode 9 like that, it would have been like, gosh, fuck you, Disney. Like, you know, that would have been annoying.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
since it's like this now, I'm like, okay.
Yeah. That's
I think I would be fine with that. But I lost my train of thought. Porgs.
I mean, of the space species we ran into, aka space race cows and crystal
space horses.
creatures and the almighty porgs, I think porgs are great.
I know Joe loves porgs.
I love the porgs going in. Love them coming out. I loved the little porg like looking into the end of the lightsaber. I love Chewbacca eating a porg. Or them shaming him for like eating one of their brothers.
Yeah,
Hey man, Wookiees
porgs
gotta
are
eat.
great. Porgs with the Ewoks, for sure.
I like porgs more than Ewoks.
Oh yeah.
But like when you're a kid, everybody loved Ewoks.
Well,
I
yeah.
also love those little like space nuns that keep like take care of the island.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot about the
And she blasts a
fish
hole
ladies.
through the hut, and they're just like,
yeah.
great.
That was pretty good. The unceremonious way that Snoke died. Does anyone care about that? Or think he's not dead?
I loved that because I was like, who gives a shit about Snoke? We've already done this like, higher powers like spiritual emperor thing, like
Yeah.
that they just aced him. I was like, great, like Kylo Ren is the bad guy. That's awesome.
I think that's cool. I mean, yeah, Kylo Ren was dope in this movie.
Yeah.
Like I thought he was great.
Yeah.
And that fight scene in the Red Room against the Imperial Guards, was it Jedi or maybe Empire when you first saw Imperial Guards, like the red guards with the Emperor? I've since then been like,
You never
please
saw them
fight,
battle."
please
Yeah.
fight. You're so cool. I used to own little like
The like micro
machines,
machines,
like Star Wars, like little sets, and I
Yeah.
used to have like one of the little Imperial Guards, and I was like,
Yeah.
I want these guys to fight so bad.
I had
That
one
was
of
a
those
cool scene.
the little like 5-inch like Imperial Guard action figures,
Mm-hmm.
and where all the other action figures like you can move their arms and legs and kind of twist them, the Imperial Guards like just move their arms up and down, and that's it.
yeah. Mine
Couldn't even
had
bend
like
at the
mine
midsection.
had like a
No.
rod in his hand, and he just raised both of his arms at the same time.
that's
That's all he did.
I thought so that there was lots of really cool little parts in that movie. Like that fight scene was really cool, but a lot of the action scenes I thought like were just uninspired and kind of boring and kind of just looked like every other like space fight scene thing.
Oh,
like
you
Poe
mean
or like
you
whatever.
mean like the space
the
battles?
actual battles was just like, okay, we're just
How do
doing this
how
to
do
get
space bombers work?
that. Yeah,
Yeah, I think
Is
that's
it
just
because-
the thing.
Is it because there's like
Maybe there's
gravity in the
magnets.
ship, so then they start falling out of the ship, and then
And then they got
since
movement.
and then it's just space, so they keep
I like
going.
that. I like that.
I assume.
Or do you think
I
like,
want to think there's magnets in the bombs.
but then when they just stick to the ship, then
Shut up, Josh.
I debunked that in a second.
Maybe there's little mini rockets that just propel them.
That's kind of what I was imagining, is that there's some sort of force in the ship that pushes them down, even though we don't see it.
I mean, the ship obviously has gravity because the girl had to like climb the ladder
Right.
and whatever. And then I heard somewhere that someone maybe thought like maybe like this like that giant Star Destroyer, it's like legitimately so big that it might
Oh, that it
actually
has
have a little
gravitational
gravity
force?
to itself as well. But you don't even need that because if they're falling already, then I guess space law just demands they just keep going in the direction, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So
But space law doesn't have any factor in Star Wars.
no. Yeah, I know.
The fact that when your ship blows up, it falls downward.
Well, it's got to fall somewhere, right?
Yeah, the way it was going.
I kind of think we're in dangerous theory land a little bit, but I like kind of think potentially Snoke's not gone.
All right.
I would be bummed out by that.
I just And you know what? Here's the deal. I
Be
don't
bummed
care.
by his presence.
I'm fine if he's gone.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's in a book or probably in like a comic that's coming out or has come out. But I just want to know where the fuck he came from.
Sure.
And as long as you tell me that in any medium, I don't care.
Yeah, it doesn't
mean,
need to be in a movie.
You don't know. You never find out like where the emperor. Well, I guess you kind of find out where the emperor came from
Have you?
through 1 through 3.
But at least the Emperor was around. And the problem, I mean, I guess it's like Kylo Ren and Snoke and the Emperor and Vader were like, but I mean, Vader was still like way more imposing than Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
So I guess I feel like I didn't care as much about the Emperor, but the Emperor was around a lot more and was still a little bit more active
Yeah.
in the original trilogy than Snoke was.
Okay, what about Count Dooku?
Oh,
What
yeah.
about
I started watching.
all those fuckers?
I started watching Disney's Clone Wars the other day.
Nice.
I'm only on episode like 2 or 3,
Mm-hmm.
but like just coming off of a Star Wars movie and watching that, like that dumb fucking cartoon,
Yeah.
like feels like Star Wars. It
Yeah.
really does.
Is it like canon?
Yeah, I think
so.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think
I
it's
mean-
the only thing that stayed canon when Disney bought it because it's a Disney show.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
And it takes place, it's like 6 seasons, and it takes place between
Whoa.
Clone Wars and The Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
And we can have a whole podcast about how The Revenge of the Sith is the worst movie in the entire franchise and how I could make it better
Ooh, I love
if you would
Revenge
let
of the
me.
Sith.
And if,
Isn't
and if
that
you
the
would
one
let
that
me
people
redo it.
love though? Isn't that?
It's the best out
Of
of the.
the
How about
three?
this? It's the best of the original 3.
Wow.
And I think
Yeah.
it's the worst one of all of them. And I think it's the best of the
Interesting.
3.
I
Paradox.
thought people thought Attack of the Clones was supposed to be the worst, except for that the last half hour that's just battles.
Where you get to see Yoda fight.
Yeah.
Isn't Grievous in.
Grievous is in
Clone?
Revenge of the Sith.
I thought he was in Tech.
He's
He
like the
fights
first,
in
like,
Revenge of
half.
the Sith, but I think he's introduced at the end of, or somewhere towards the middle of Attack
Okay.
of the Clones.
Yeah. That makes sense. That sounds right.
I don't know.
If anyone
He
in the
doesn't
comments
matter
can
anyway.
tell me whether or not Grievous is a full well, maybe you guys just know. Was Grievous an android fully, or was he like a person, sort of, and then he like became? Is he like RoboCop?
Yeah, I think he's RoboCop.
Yeah.
I think
the
he's
best way
like
to explain
space
it.
RoboCop
Yeah.
because his eyeballs look like people's eyeballs,
Ugh.
whereas like every other droid I've ever seen doesn't have people's eyeballs.
Right.
Yeah.
But he's got a bunch of arms and he uses lightsabers, which is dope.
And he's heavily in Clone Wars, right? Or no?
He was in episode 2 already. Yeah, so he's around. Him and Count Dooku were in episode 2 Clone Wars.
Okay.
We're not talking about
So
Clone
maybe
Wars,
we
guys.
explain. So maybe they explain their backstories more in Clone Wars.
Yeah. Ray's parents.
Yeah. I love that
We
too.
found out who Ray's parents were.
They're fucking nobody.
Do you
I don't
think
know.
he was telling the truth?
It's fucking Doofer and Kantar, just sand people. They don't fucking matter.
Her parents are, but she's human.
Did
for
he
some
say?
reason.
I gotta watch it a third time, but he did. Did he call them like garbage people? He was just like they're like space trash or something.
Yeah, he called him like space trash or something like that. He said he did say something along
Junk.
those
I
lines.
think maybe it was like junk collectors or something. But I took that as to mean like your parents are trash. Who cares?
Well,
My dad's fucking Han Solo. Okay.
and I killed him. So this is how much I care about fucking parents.
Yeah. I don't know. I think, but for me, by that point in the movie, like so many things were bothering me that I was really pulled out of.
That was a good moment. I liked that moment when he was like, "Your parents are trash. They're nobody. They sold you. You're fucking nobody." He's like, "Don't worry about it." And I'm like, "Your dad's probably Luke still."
Oh, that would be funny to find out in the next.
Yeah,
one.
J.J. Abrams just like retcons all of it. Brings Snoke back, makes Luke Ray's parents, and like
Hey man, the one thing I know about Clone Wars is the show is that Darth Maul comes back and he got cut in half, which is definitely a way for someone to die.
sure.
And he got cut in half and he comes back because his lower half's like a spider robot legs,
Oh,
and he's back in
man.
it. And I bet it's awesome in a
Wow.
cartoon. You know,
Oh, sure.
But if Snoke can do it, I'm sure. If Darth Maul can do it, I'm sure Supreme Leader Snoke can. Also, I don't like that they
God.
call Kylo Ren Supreme Leader. I was like, come on, man, create your own term.
Yeah.
I get it, but come on, man. How about that little like Hux? When Hux was like when Kylo Ren was like on the ground or whatever, and Hux like reached for his like blaster or whatever.
Yeah.
Right after the throne room battle.
Okay.
And he was just like that little like thing was like motherfucking Hux. He's
Yep.
trying to.
Wait, who's Hux?
The red haired guy.
Oh yeah.
When he was like, huh, and I'm like,
I can't believe Hux survived this movie. Did he survive this movie?
yeah.
Yeah. I cannot believe that.
You said that sad, Joe.
The way that like generals
fine.
come and go in these movies, I
think he's
can't
fun.
believe that he lived.
I like Hux. I liked Hux a lot more in this. I mean, in the first one, he was just a write off to me, and then in this one,
He
I'm
was
like,
in that.
oh,
I don't even remember.
there you go.
Exactly.
yeah.
Wow.
He was in that. He was the guy like screaming when they were doing the Nazi thing on the Death Star planet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was him.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right.
Luke versus Kylo Ren on Salt Hoth.
Yeah.
Super fun.
I thought that was amazing because like the point of it is Kylo Ren wants so badly to like burn down the past, and he wants to be the one to kill Han Solo. He wants to be the one to kill Luke too, and like destroy his master, but Luke just like doesn't give it to him.
Yeah.
And I thought that was amazing.
Which is awesome.
Like we still get a showdown between the two, but like in the end,
But
it
he's
didn't
like,
matter.
I'm not
Nothing.
going to do what Obi-Wan did. And I'm
Yeah.
not going to let him have even the satisfaction.
Yeah, when he's just like
That's pretty badass.
peace out, kid, and then vanishes. I was just like, oh shit.
There is one thing that I heard people say, at least about that fight, is that if you're paying attention, like Luke doesn't make any noise. Like his footsteps don't make noise.
Yeah.
And I don't.
He
think
doesn't leave any
And I don't think he
tracks.
leaves tracks
Yeah.
either.
Oh, interesting.
But it's like something I didn't see at all. And
Yeah.
So I want to
You
see it
wouldn't
again.
be looking for
Do you
that,
look
yeah.
for that at all when you watched it twice?
No, I mean I looked for it the second time, but like the most obvious thing is that his like beard and like hair are trimmed. And I remember the first time I
Oh,
saw it
yeah.
thinking like, oh, that's weird, but like not really gonna think about that right now. Like, did he get a haircut in between? I don't really know.
And he's dressed. he's like kind of dressed like Return of the Jedi Luke.
Yeah.
Like he's dressed like that. But
or like
all
how
that-
did he get there? And I was just like, that's fine. I'll think about that later.
I mean, feel like people
Yeah.
in Star Wars, like it's like Game of Thrones, like they just warp everywhere. Like you don't
Right.
think about it. Like if you thought about timeline a little bit too hard, like anything that was actually fantasy serious would just be ruined for you.
yeah.
So don't think about timelines. I have one big one. I have one big gripe with the movie.
Okay.
This is my one. Like when I got
Just
done,
one?
I was like, I thought this movie was great, but why?
Okay.
And that was Finn's story arc.
Oh my God. I'm with you on that.
And mostly just the conclusion, or what I would call the not conclusion of it at all, where he did a good job of, like, he started his story arc of being the same person he was in the first movie when he was trying to run away.
Being
And then, but then he, like, they did their James Bond Casino Royale weird thing or whatever, which whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
That's part's fine. It's short. But so they do that, whatever, and then they're on Salt Hoth, and he's like flying into the thing, and he was gonna kill himself to save everybody, and then Rose fucking saved him. Fuck you, Rose. Like, I don't get it. I don't.
and then she kisses him.
I wanted him to die. I didn't want Finn to die.
Because,
Yeah, why not?
yeah. How do you
so
think
is,
I
so
felt
is
about
Rose,
that?
so is Rose the new Princess Leia?
Finn and Rose are brother and sister. We find that on episode 9.
Hot. That's hot.
Yeah, they're getting risque in
Interracial
2017.
couple too.
Yeah, that bummed me out for like the biggest reason is because it didn't work like storyline wise. But then also I liked Finn's character so much from The Force Awakens that I like was salty about him being wasted in this movie. And then when she kisses him, that came out of nowhere for me, and I'm just like, what? Like because you guys went on like a space adventure to free some space horses, like you're like you're in love now? Like
Rose is kind of a babe.
that doesn't matter. Like
yeah, that's not the
That's
question.
exactly the kind of like sex and romance that I don't like in movies, where it just feels forced.
Nobody on this channel knows that you don't like sex and movie on your.
Listen up, Suikoden fans.
Nailed it.
No one watches those. I just keep doing them. I just need to finish it. But yeah, I'm like I was like legitimately mad because she was like her like reasoning like she said to him was like, we don't like. He's like, why did you do that? And she was, I forget what he said.
You have a third movie to make.
Well, she's like, we don't like kill, we don't kill to do whatever we like. We don't kill what we love. We like save what we love or something.
Yeah,
like.
she says we can't win by just destroying what we hate. We have to save what we love.
Right, which was like, no, he was trying to redeem him. Like he's been shitty for this 2 movies.
Yeah.
And he was trying to like be like he learned he was like, oh, this isn't about me, this is about the resistance,
Right.
It's about like fighting evil.
I'm trying to buy some time so I don't break down this door. Like,
and I'm trying to save 100 more like people in there, like,
Yeah.
and I need to do this to like keep them alive. And she was like, no, I'm selfish and I need to like kiss you in a minute.
part of me, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say that. Okay, so I didn't think about this until you said this, but so Han Solo in the first 2 movies, he's the shitty guy just trying to make money. Like the beginning of Empire, he's trying to get paid and get out of there while they're being attacked.
Right.
And then he ends up having to like run away and escape the Empire, and that's like his whole story arc. Their whole story arc in that movie is like them just escaping, which is kind of like. I was thinking about Finn's story arc in this one, and he's just, I mean, it's literally pointless. By the end of it, he has not furthered any plot at all. Like, they go on this wild goose chase to, like, try to get into the destroyer and then get caught immediately. So, like, 45 minutes of that just blown. And then it's just, like, they kill Phasma, and then they hop in a ship and bounce.
Yeah, like, even though I said all that stuff about how I hated that part, there's part of me that still likes that they were trying to go towards that thought of, like, trying to save what we love as opposed to kill what we hate, because it's just in contrast to, like, Kylo Ren's mindset especially, and even Poe Dameron's mindset, where it's just, like, everything's a suicide mission, everything's a one last gasp, and she's like, you know, everything can't just be that, because then we'll die out faster than the First Order will. So
That's
I just
true.
feel like I like the idea, but it was executed
like
poorly.
It was executed very poorly.
Probably like learned is like he kind of learned that though by the end. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like he actually learned that
Yeah.
lesson
Right.
in the end. And I mean, maybe like Finn learned the lesson, but since everything he did in the movie was like essentially so worthless,
Yeah, it was a complete
like
failure.
and then his one action to like make him not worthless anymore got deleted by Rose.
Yeah. Right.
It was like. Then that felt like very like because it was obvious like there was nothing Poe could do to like redeem himself about one like except for like not going and trying to like suicide mission. Like that's when he was just like we have to run. Like I get it now. We have to like get out of here kind of thing.
Yeah.
We have to try to do this and then Finn was like I got to do this to like save people because like it's bigger than me. And then Rose was like no, it's about me. You. I was like damn it.
And then they crash right in front of the huge fleet right after Kylo Ren said, like, leave no survivors, like, shoot everything on sight. And then they sit there feet away from the entire, like, front line and somehow make it all the way back in.
Yeah. I don't remember, but I think they, like, that happens, and then Luke shows up, and then Finn shows up at the door.
Luke shows up pretty quickly after they crash.
Yeah, so I think Luke,
Right.
they're all firing
So
on
they're
Luke.
all drawn on.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think.
I really wanted Luke to really be there for that part because I wanted him to be that strong.
Oh, man.
That's the like I'm totally fine with him. Like him, like it kind of shows he was obviously that strong. Who knows how far away those 2 planets are, but he like teleported his
right.
like hologram his hologram that far.
Yeah.
Which is like you got to be probably
intense.
pretty strong, especially to like trick somebody else that is like pretty solid in the Force.
Yeah. Right.
I enjoyed the Kylo Ren and Rey, like they can see each other through the Force thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought that was cool.
I just thought I like the simple way that they like shot and edited it. It's just like, let's just shoot it as if they're in the same room. Like no special effects needed. Just shot, counter shot.
Yep.
The audience will get it.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, it was a cool just addition to this is another thing that the Force can do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any other things they want to talk about before I close us out in some mildly funny things?
I just wanted to say, I thought it was way too long for no reason. It
Yeah.
was 2.5 hours, and there was lots of stuff I felt like could have been cut.
Mm-hmm.
Just like plot points that just didn't matter, like the cow racing, cow saving.
I mean, that whole Casino Royale part was like,
Yeah.
I mean, that was whatever.
Pretty weak.
I will
Unless
say though,
Benicio's coming back for a third movie.
coming back to die in 30 seconds probably, but besides that,
Yeah.
I will say though that I did think this movie, like while watching it, like without, like, 'cause I didn't like pick up my phone and see what time it was, kind of how long I've been here.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this movie was going to end about 6 different times,
Mm-hmm.
and every
Yeah.
time, but for me, every time it didn't end, I was really happy that it
You're
kept
like,
going.
right on, more movies.
By the time that I was like, because I thought like when they hit like the battle in the chamber with the Imperial Guards, I was like, oh, this is like the big end kind of
Right.
thing.
Yeah, because this is the big bad
And it-
guy.
And
like,
and then
wasn't.
I think it was like an hour more of the movie. Like so, and then
Ugh.
every like 15 minutes, I was like, oh, this is where it's gonna end. This is where it's gonna end. I thought it was gonna
Yeah.
end. I legitimately thought it was gonna end with like a cliffhanger of like Luke about to fight Kylo Ren
That would have been
on that planet.
badass.
It would have.
They should have done that.
Nah, man, that. Because then I would have had to wait 2 years.
Yeah,
to
that's a
find
good
that
out.
would've
point.
been
That's
upsetting.
a long time.
They did not freeze anybody in carbonite, so
Nope.
So, I just had some quick notes about, like, just thinking people immediately were saying, like, this is, like, the best movie ever. And just in my brain, after seeing it, I was like, this wasn't even the best Star Wars. Like,
no, I wouldn't say it's about Star Wars
but also is because I went into it thinking, like, this is going to be new Empire. But so with that being said, I just wrote down some quick things of, like, how it was, like, the ring theory with Empire. So, like, it opens with, this movie opens with rebels being attacked. Ooh.
Keep going,
You
Jimmy.
got
I'm gonna go
tacos?
get these tacos.
And they have to make a stand. Then Rey escapes after that to go train with an old Jedi, just like Luke trained with Yoda.
right.
She's trying to learn about her family.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the dream sequence thing she has, or like whatever path thing where she's going to find herself.
Yeah.
And that whole time I was just like waiting for that to happen, and then it happened.
Mm-hmm.
She sees her mirrors. Then she's trying to bring the bad guy to the light side, and it doesn't work. Just like Luke.
Yeah, that's more of a Jedi thing, though, right? I mean, Return of the Jedi.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
in
that whole throne
Empire,
room,
Luke met Darth Vader, and it was a little bit of a battle thing at the end, and then he loses his hand. But just narrowly escapes, just like this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest of the team is like off doing their own thing.
Yeah.
In Empire as well.
Yeah, the gang's all split up.
Yeah. So I just thought it was kind of shitty Empire after seeing it once, but mostly because I thought there was some weird editing things and some weird continuity things, and like Maz being there
Yeah,
to
I
explain
didn't
one
need that.
line, explain the next hour of plot.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah. When she showed up, I was like, oh yeah, this character. Who cares? Like, I thought this
Yeah.
was just like a Force Awakens thing.
Like, let's bring back fun characters to explain. Like, who's gonna use this 3 lines to explain their whole
Yeah, to set up
Casino
their
Royale
mission.
trip?
The taco man went to the wrong spot.
Oh
So-
no!
He went to our friend's house and not this house.
Oh, bummer.
He'll be here second.
Nice.
So, does Jimmy love the movie now?
Yeah, he thinks it's great.
Oh,
I convinced him.
sweet. Good job. Good job.
Cool.
See,
See you next year for
The Han Solo movie.
Troy Solo.
I mean, I'm gonna watch it. So
Han and Lando in the morning.
nice. Well, I mean, overall, I liked it a lot. Jimmy liked it less. Do you think you're gonna like it more if you see it 2 times?
Yeah, I know so.
Yeah, there's just, you're just thinking less when you see it the second time. You could just like see the cool things for cool things.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, well, I think we'll call it there because I got to go back downstairs and talk to the taco guy again when he's here. But let us know what you guys think in the comments down below. That's where those comments are located. See how, tell us what you do agree or don't agree with, or if you hated the movie or loved it and why. Be fun to know. And check out me and these other two guys on First and Last Podcast, which links are down below for that. It's where we watch TV shows, but only the first and last episode of it, and try to make predictions and whatnot, and be silly and fun stuff like that.
Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.
Stop it, Jimmy. That's not it. But now we're gonna eat tacos and record an episode of that podcast. So
Yeah.
have a good night, guys. See you on next year when Star Wars comes back out. Is that a porg?
Yeah.
Okay.